Take a look at these cities: Yekut, Omsk, Krasnoyarsk, Irkutsk, Astana, Ulaanbaatar. What do you think they have in common? That's right, they are all connected to the Kara Sea. Yeah, water from these cities reaches the Kara Sea via the Albertish and Yenisei river systems. Let's imagine what will happen if the borders of the states pass along the watershed of the seas. What will their territory and population be? What is the size of the economy? And where will the capital of such states be? Let's find out. So the population of the Kara Sea is 35 million people, and the area is more than 6 million square kilometers. By these indicators, it is very similar to Australia. It would be one of the richest countries in terms of mineral resources. Despite this wealth of resources, the majority of the region's population does not have high incomes. Why? Moscow controls production through monopoly companies, and all the proceeds from sales end up in Moscow. Only a small part is used to cover the cost of production and maintain the industry. The largest city in the Kara state is Novosibirsk. In my opinion, it is the best option for the role of the region's capital. The Baltic Sea is in 16th place with a population of 87 million. The economy of such a state would generate $2.5 trillion a year, which is more than Canada or Brazil. Poland and Sweden would provide the main part. Denmark would also make a major contribution to the economy. The largest city in the Baltic states is St. Petersburg, but Stockholm is a better choice for the capital, with its higher standard of living and many offices of international companies. Such a country would have high chances of actually existing, as the population would be monolithic in terms of religion, and most regions would have medium or high incomes. Would you like to visit such a country? Write in the comments. Next in the ranking is the Philippine Sea. This country would have the largest water surface area, with a land share of just over 6%. It would also have no land connection to the mainland. But this would not have prevented it from being among the world's top countries, with an economy of $2.8 trillion, which is commensurate with France's. Paradoxically, the vast majority of the population of such a country would be Japanese, not Filipinos. This state would stretch from Tokyo to the Indonesian islands for 3,800 kilometers, and from Taiwan to Guam for 2,700 kilometers. I do not see any other candidates for the role of the capital except Tokyo. The Japanese Sea is located neighboring the Philippine Sea and ranks 14th with a population of 106 million people. The Amur River Valley accounts for the majority of this country's territory, and its total area is commensurate with Saudi Arabia. There is also a paradox here. The majority of the population of the Sea of Japan are Chinese, not Japanese. The largest city is Harbin. However, the Korean city of Busan, which is located directly on the coast of the Japanese Sea, is better suited to the role of capital. In addition, this small area around Busan accounts for 20% of the country's total GDP. The Caribbean Sea is in 13th place. The area of more than 1 million square kilometers is home to 118 million people. The territory of a Caribbean state would partially or fully cover more than 20 existing countries. But this would not be an obstacle to communication, as about 97% of the population is fluent in Spanish. Such a country would have a great chance of becoming extremely important in the world. Just imagine, countless non-ferrous metal reserves in the Andes Mountains, huge oil reserves in the Maracaibo Basin, lush forests, recreational areas on exotic islands, and the crucial Panama Canal for global trade. With savvy leadership, the Caribbean state would be on par with the United States and China in terms of influence, wouldn't it? The 12th place is probably the most unique country in our ranking, the Caspian Sea. Such a state would be located within Eurasia, and with the territory of 3 million square kilometers, would not have direct access to the oceans. About half of the entire territory belongs to the Volga River Valley, which is the main source of water for the Caspian Sea. By the way, I talked about the most populated river valleys in my previous videos. Let's go back. A whole range of climatic conditions is present here, from the frosty Komi Permian to the desert of Turkmenistan. The majority of the population would be Christian, but the proportion of Muslims would also be significant. I have chosen Baku as the capital of such a state, which is an important seaport. Further south is the Persian Gulf country. The Tigris and Euphrates rivers are the largest in this region. Most of the population of the Persian Gulf lives in their valleys. Iraq accounts for about 37% of the total population of this country. However, the United Arab Emirates would provide the basis of the economy with 29%. Obviously, the Persian Gulf would be a very influential country, as it accounts for about half of the world's oil reserves. It is oil and the proceeds from its exports that have made it possible to build such high-tech and modern cities as Doha, Dammam, and Dubai in the desert. I chose the last one to be the capital of the Persian Gulf. The top 10 most populated seas are opened by the Java Sea. It is the only representative in our ranking whose territory is entirely located within one country, Indonesia. The Java Sea collects water from such giant islands as Borneo, Sulawesi, Sumatra, and Java. 3 of them are among the top 10 most populated islands in the world. There is a special video about this on my channel. The watershed of Java Sea covers an area of 390,000 square kilometers, which is roughly equal to the size of Norway, but the population is 26 times larger. The largest cities are located on the island of Java, and Jakarta is the main one. Next in the ranking is the Black Sea. It covers a large part of Europe and Asia. I will talk about it and other seas in the next part. Please support the channel by subscribing to YouTube and Patreon. This is a good motivation for me to create even better content for you. See you in the next videos.